Hey there everyone and welcome back. My name is TechLock and today we'll be doing a review of the Mythic Hero Banner that dropped last night. As a surprise to basically no one, the Mythic Hero for this month will be Naga. That was kind of spoiled by the Learn with Sharina site leaking her C skill Divine Fang that grants effective against dragons ability to adjacent allies. So it is unfortunate that it was leaked, and as I covered in a previous video, it's kind of upsetting that IS was so careless and let such a big spoiler leak well before the Mythic Hero came out, kind of ruining the surprise for everyone. But apart from that, let's get into this review. Alright, so first and foremost, I want to point out something that I also pointed out on the Bridal Belongings banner, that I am very impressed with the artwork that IS has done recently. It just makes me feel good that they're putting a lot of energy and effort into the design and animations of their characters. Her sprite art is amazing, her unit art is amazing, and just makes me really happy to see that effort and energy going into such minor things as far as a gacha game. Well, minor in my opinion. It doesn't affect gameplay, but it just affects the overall aesthetic of the game, and yeah, very pleasing to see that. So Naga is a blue flying dragon. So first thing that comes to mind is I compare her to the other legendary flying dragon, which would be female Robin. Unfortunately for Naga, she has quite a few weaknesses. She's weak to dragon weapons since she's a dragon, and there is a lot of effective against dragon weapons in this game, including she can be taken out by herself with Divine Fang. If you're facing another Naga on the opposing team, giving Divine Fang to almost all adjacent allies, it gives a lot of threats for this unit here. Also, considering that she's a blue dragon, it means units like Deidre and Julia are going to have the dragon effectiveness and the weapon triangle advantage against her, which is poses quite a hazard to her. The thing that they did with fallen female Robin was they gave her a dragon skin in her ace skill, which negated the flying weaknesses, and also gave her a buff in, I believe it's +4 defense and res when being attacked. So it at least alleviated one of the major weaknesses to the unit. However, there's no counter for her flying weaknesses on Naga. So again, that just makes her a bit more vulnerable to archers and units such as Merrick, who are effective against flying foes. But apart from that, she has a great weapon that synergizes really well with Divine Fang, her C skill. Her weapon gives her X times 3, and X is equal to the number of dragon allies and allies that have effective against dragons within 2 spaces. So basically, any unit that's next to her will get the effective against dragons and then be providing her with that buff. It is a little bit of a power creep, as I can think of the most recent example of weapons like this would be last year's Bridal Banner, with Tharja and Snaki getting X times 2 for allies within 2 spaces. So it went from X times 2 to X times 3. So a maximum buff of 9 to each stat can be quite powerful. As far as Luna, I think it's a great special for her to have. If she's going against dragons, which is basically what she's designed for, is be a dragon killer. Most dragons have pretty high defense and resistance. So using a skill like Moonbow, Luna, Aether, something that reduces their defense is probably going to be the most optimal special for a unit like this. It is unfortunate that they give her an AR skill. I mean, it synergizes well with her utility just because of her being a mythic hero, she's going to be pulled by a lot of people who care about AR and being used in AR attack a lot. So it has some synergy there, but I don't think IS realizes, or IS thinks that the AR skills are more desirable than they actually are. I haven't seen a lot of people using them. I haven't seen a lot of people pulling directly for these AR skills to fodder onto specific units. And I don't really see people setting up their defense teams in order to counter these skills. So even if you're using her in AR, I would go with a different skill. Obviously, if you have a spare Hector lying around, I'd give her a distant counter to take advantage of her weapon effect, that if foe's range equals 2, calculates damage using lower a foe's defense or res. Maybe with these skills becoming more available in the pool, they'll have a bigger influence on the meta, but right now, I just don't think they're that desirable, and I would replace it. Chill speed, I love the chill skills. It just, no requirements, just targets foe on the opposing team with the highest speed. Depending on what Naga's speed is, it could be very helpful. But I mean, there's also plenty of other good B skills to replace it with. So, based on the situation and how much speed she has, especially if she's going against other legendary heroes or other heroes that have high speed, the two that come to mind are Merida and Alm. Chill speed can be very effective against them. And then Divine Fang is great, especially if you're going against dragon teams. But again, this is another situational skill. So if you're not going against dragons, and I think people are shifting away from using dragons just because of how many counters there are to dragons, this skill loses a lot of utility. So in my opinion, all three of these passive skills can be replaced, kind of really dampening the desirability of Naga for people who aren't super invested in AR. But apart from that, let's look at her chibi animation. Again, art is great. I love the art for the weapon. It's basically her shooting a galaxy at other units. I would not be upset with getting her just because of how good her art is. And for this banner, it's not the strongest banner, to be completely honest with you guys. I don't think the New Year's units are incredibly desirable. When I do, I will spend a few orbs on this banner just to try to get Naga, because I do play AR and I kind of want to get my lift up, but I'll be sniping solely blues. Blue is by far and away the best color to pull on this banner. You have Brave Hector, who is an incredible unit with Bold Fighter, Austian Counter, and his weapon. And then you also have Legendary Tiki, who has the highest BST of any unit in this game, and she might be a dragon, but she has dragon and armor, so she has two kind of weaknesses there, but still with her high BST and her utility, I find it very hard to take her down, especially if she's built the right way and has the right buffs on her. So I would be solely sniping blue. Red is good as well, but I already have Freed and I already have Legendary Goomthra. And I would love to get an Erica, but every time I summon for Legendary Erica, she has evaded me, and I don't want to test my luck any further. Green really is disappointing on this banner. I don't really like the color. I don't really like using colored bows. They're not my favorite. And Fjorm doesn't seem like a super impactful unit. Legendary Lyn, I won't go into her abilities, since I know people gripe about her being the weakest legendary hero. And then Lu, trust me, I love Lu, and I played through Binding Blade. He's one of the two mages you get at the very beginning, him and Lilina, but you get him a few chapters earlier. And I know people build Lilina because she is a little bit better gross, but just having Lu earlier, he can be made incredibly powerful. So he definitely was one of my put the team on your back units in Binding Blade, but he definitely is not a put the team on the back unit in this game. So getting a Lu on this banner would probably depress me more than anything. And I know Valoria is great, but I don't really have a use for Doom. I don't really have a use for New Year's Layarn. Or is that Levitain? Yes, that is Levitain. My apologies. Don't really have a use for another mounted staff unit. And Duma, being a dragon and being armored, again has two weaknesses. His upheaval can be counteracted very easily by air, or having Racing on your team just providing healing all over the place. So, in my opinion, I would snipe strictly blues, unless you really, really want one of the units in the banner. Don't get me wrong, Valoria is an amazing unit. I just know how these banners go. Sniping on these banners never works for me. So, sniping for Valoria, I'd probably get pity broken by either a Levitain or a Duma. And while I don't have either of the unit, not really high on my priority list to get. So I'll probably be putting a few orbs towards this banner, but sniping solely on blues just because Naga, Legendary Tiki, and Brave Hector are all desirable units. Alright, so that's the banner. Comes out tomorrow or later tonight, depending on where you are. Again, these are just my opinions. You guys pull for whatever you want, and let me know your thoughts on the banner. Let me know if you're going to summon or not. Again, I guess it really depends on how invested you are in AR. Can't wait to see the actual stats for Naga, because that's going to actually be a huge impact on whether to pull for her or not, since she does have so many glaring weaknesses, of course, in my opinion. I know I've said that like 18 times in this video, but again, this video is entirely my opinion. You guys pull for what you want to do. Let me know what you guys think, if my analysis was correct. And if you do, go ahead and pull this banner. Let me know what you guys pull. As always, if you liked, please like, comment, subscribe. Come check me out at Twitter at TechBlockFay. And have a great rest of your day. Take care.